Thank you for your interest in CMPAS, our asset allocation and financial planning software. CMPAS applies cutting-edge technology and artificial intelligence to financial planning. It empowers advisors to optimize investment strategies for the specific life goals of each individual client, and makes this customization efficient and easy to execute across even the largest advisory practices. Designed by financial professionals for financial professionals, CMPAS helps you take your advisory process to the next level. Meet your new clients, the Rolfe family. John is 51 and Rebecca is 49. They have 2 children, Thomas, who is 17, and Elizabeth, who is 9. John is an accountant who makes $200,000 a year, and Rebecca is a teacher who makes $50,000. They want to send their kids to college, buy a sailboat once Thomas is through school, and replicate their current income in retirement. The Rolfes have decided that having a secure retirement is a need. They want to ensure that no matter what happens, they will have a dignified retirement, even if the markets go south. College funding is a want. If things are really bad, the kids can always take out a loan. And the sailboat is a dream, something that will only happen if things go reasonably well. The first step in the process is for you and your client to decide just how bulletproof you want different goals to be. CMPAS allows clients to prioritize goals as needs, wants, and dreams, and allows clients to assign different levels of protection to each goal. In this case, the Rolfes have decided they want to have a 90% chance of achieving their needs, 80% for wants, and 70% for dreams. But what does this mean? If you say you want a 90% chance of achieving your needs, then CMPAS assumes that between now and when you need to fund that goal, market returns are as bad as the worst 10% of periods ever experienced by U.S. investors. If it's a 10-year goal, we build a plan that can fund that goal if markets are as bad as they were from 1910 to 1920, 1969 to 1979, or 1998 to 2008. If you say wants should have an 80% probability of success, we build a plan that works if markets are as bad as the worst 20% of history. Dreams require markets to be closer to average returns. 3 key takeaways. First, why not make everything a need? You can, but the more protection you build into each goal, the more savings and sacrifice in your current lifestyle you will have to make. Second, each goal is independently funded. If the Rolfes buy the sailboat and the next day the market crashes, it has no impact on the security of their retirement. Third, 70% of historical periods have been better than they are planning for. That means that there's plenty of upside to their goals if market returns are close to long-term average results. We plan for the worst, but we hope for the best. Here is the quick input screen for the Rolfes goals. Each goal can be assigned different inflation assumptions. Simulated inflation inflates goals that are the various inflation rates produced by the Monte Carlo simulation. Unlike other planning tools, CMPAS does not assume a single inflation rate, but allows inflation to rise above 6% some of the time and fall below -1% at other times, consistent with historical inflation behavior. Clients can bump up the simulation inflation if they want to be more conservative for certain expenses like college or healthcare, and they can also assume no inflation at all. This is the workbench, which shows how well the plan can be met. The workbench says that the retirement and college goals are taken care of, but there isn't enough money to fund the lowest priority goal, which is the sailboat. The software also lets you know that in order for this goal to pass, the Rolfes need to drop the sailboat goal from $82,000 to $74,000. Dropping the sailboat goal to $74,000 allows for all goals to pass. But what happens if the Rolfes stay with their existing strategy? Well, it means that they might not have enough money for Rebecca's retirement health care, and their daughter's college. And that sailboat is completely out of the question. Importantly, CMPAS provides an optimized investment strategy customized for the Rolfes' specific goals. CMPAS uses your input asset allocation strategies and finds the combination of your existing portfolios that best suit the Rolfes and their life goals. The Rolfes don't need 60-40. They need lots of cash and bonds to fund Thomas's imminent college expenses, They need moderate to moderate growth risk portfolios for the Sailboat and Elizabeth College, and their retirement goals are best met through a higher risk, equity-centered growth portfolio. No one portfolio could possibly meet their complex but very typical financial needs. And strategy guidance that only lives at the household level makes your job harder because you must decide how to allocate that strategy across multiple accounts with different tax benefits. Luckily, CMPAS provides specific strategy guidance at the account level based on the goals CMPAS has calculated the accounts will need to fund. This provides more opportunities for the advisor to add value. Their taxable account is funding Rebecca's retirement, post-retirement health care, Elizabeth's college, and the Sailboat. The recommended allocation has the risk appropriate for those goals. But that begs the question, why fund college and healthcare from the taxable account? Can the client move some money into the 529? Why don't they have an HSA? Have they maxed out their retirement contribution? CMPAS provides tangible, specific advice based not on a market forecast, but on great analytical insights into how much money is needed for different goals, and the best tax strategy for funding those goals. And with respect to the 529, it is heavily concentrated in cash and short maturity bonds because Thomas is 17 and heading to college soon. And one thing we know is he and Elizabeth will keep getting older and those goals will get closer in time. CMPAS automatically calculates the appropriate de-risking needed to keep clients on track to meet their goals as time passes and goals need to be funded. We hope you enjoyed this overview of Caravel's CMPAS software. We believe CMPAS can revolutionize your planning process, allowing you to provide completely customized advice to each individual client with less administrative hassles than your current planning tools.